is there a certain story that works to influence? Does that story have a beginning, middle, at the end? Does it have a structure? Is there a way to build a story, a universal story that works with most of these? My product does this, their product does that, if that makes sense.
Sure. Okay, so what I would say is that you could argue that there is a structure, but it's quite loose in terms of there's a lot of variations of that. At a very base level, in terms of sales, most sales processes work well with what Joseph Campbell coined as the hero's journey. And the way it would work in terms of from a sales point of view is, the hero is someone for the customer to relate to. So you have to establish a hero protagonist that the hero can connect with, and the hero can go, that person's just like me. And then you have to have them facing a monster, and the monster would be whatever problem your product or service solves for them. So the monster might be, freezing cold weather. If your product is, for example, a jacket, a coat, or it might be if you're trying to, get a faster computer. So say, for example, you want to sell a fast computer. The problem might be upload or download speeds or processing speeds or whatever, and that's the monster. And so you would need a hero, a monster, which is whatever the problem is, and then a guide. And the guide would refer to the product or the salesperson themselves, giving that wisdom, giving that advice, helping the person make the decision so that they can overcome the monster. So every product that you sell, if you want to be able to storyfy it, as Robert McKee would say, you need to be able to bring the person through a journey so that they start going from once upon a time everything was okay, then they face the problem or the monster, which is, a dirty house or a very challenging. Let's say we're selling something to a company or training, a sales workforce that is not selling very effectively if we're selling sales training, or if it's medical supplies, then doctors are facing a challenge in understanding what's a really reliable medication. So the problem there is the sickness and the challenge of medication not working for the sickness. Mm-hmm. And the story has to show how the protagonist, which is the doctor in that case, or the sales team or manager or the person buying the product, how they or someone like them went through the experience of facing that problem, but with the guide, with the product, with the service, with whatever they're selling, and how that helped them overcome the problem. And so that's the loose structure that you'll find in most. There has to be a challenge or a battle or conflict between the hero and the monster, between the person themselves and the problem. Because whenever you're selling a product, the vast majority of products that you sell are designed to solve problems. You have to establish the problem. Now, at the same time, just like you'll see them do it on movies, the best thing you can do is to make the monster as horrible as possible. So you raise the stakes. If you've seen The Dark Knight, the second Batman, it was called The Dark Knight, right? So in that one, it wasn't just one bad thing happened. Something bad happened. Then it got worse. Then it got worse. Then it got worse. And they kept raising the stakes to the point you're thinking to yourself, I don't care if he is, a hero. Batman is screwed. Now, at that moment, when Batman is able to overcome that kind of crisis, if he's able to overcome that kind of crisis, then, Batman seems so much better than he would have seen if there was a little bit. So a lot of the stories not only have a hero, a monster, and a guide. The monster needs to be pretty tough in order to show the hero is tough as well. Because if you have a hero which is perfect and then you have a monster which is kind of bad, then it doesn't really work. But if you have a monster which is destroying people and really causing problems, then you need a hero in to do that, and the hero looks better as a result once it overcomes it. So you have to have those three pieces, but then you have to think carefully on making sure that you go into the problem and you can connect with the audience. So as the audience are listening, they're going not just, oh, this is a problem the customer has, or this is a problem that I have. They also have to know it's a really bad problem with horrible, consequences. And that way they need the hero more. And when they need the guide more to be able to overcome it. And that way they become better as a result of it.